Yeah, so if LinkedIn has some sort of job posting or company page or sponsored content or related content to your publicly expressed interests, they might be able to use your profile as part of that on public events that you're attending or a company page you followed or interacted with on LinkedIn. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's free training for the LinkedIn All-Star Academy. I'm your host, Zach Scriven, and today we're going to be going over every LinkedIn profile setting imaginable. And, in the year 2020 with the coronavirus, everyone is online. People are searching for your name, whether you're applying for a job or you're an entrepreneur like myself, starting a business. You want to be found on LinkedIn, and so you want to get these profile settings right. So section number 3 is visibility, and this is a pretty in-depth one. So here's where you can change your profile viewing options. You can choose whether you're visible or if you're viewing in private mode. So here's what this means is, like, let's say I come across your profile and we're not connected. Like, let's say you're a second degree connection of mine and I view your profile. This is what you might see under the section that says people that have viewed your profile. And it might say, like, 2 minutes ago, Zach Scriven, viewed your profile. Let's say I wanted to not let people know I viewed their profile. If I kind of wanted to snoop and stalk people, I could go into full private mode. And that would basically say an anonymous LinkedIn member viewed your profile. You could always do that. Look at someone's profile, then come back. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I just view it as public for everything. So if I'm viewing someone's profile, I actually probably want them to know, because there's probably opportunity for a friendship or some connection there. So, and by the way, if we're second degree connections, why are we not connected? I'll have my link to connect down below. Send me a connection request. Don't follow. Hit the 3 dots and say connect. Even though I have my primary action button as follow, I do want you guys to connect with me. So here's a new one, story viewing options. I haven't seen this one yet, but let's look at it. Again, here's what you can do. You can snoop on stories. I don't know why you'd want that. I want people to see that I'm seeing their stories. So let's move on here. Edit your public profile. So this is where you can, we talked about this earlier, change every visible setting and what people see when they're on your public profile. So let's go back here. That's edit your public profile. Now here's an important one. Who can see or download your email address? If you guys don't want to be getting spammed a lot, pay attention to this one. So I'm only letting first degree connections see my LinkedIn or see my email address on my profile, but I'm not allowing it to export when they export. So here, if someone allow your connections to download your email address in their data export. If no, your email address will not be included. Guys, this is really important. And so I showed you guys I have like 8,000, 9 or 10,000 connections or something like that. When I do my data export, the number of email addresses that I get, the number of people that have it set to yes, is like, it's pitiful. It's like 20. So that's a good thing, because I mean, if I wanted to grab if everyone had this set to yes and I connected with all 10,000 of these people, I could just get 10,000 of their emails and then like I could spam them all. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't do that. I would want people to like click onto my like LinkedIn All-Star Academy site and like really see what I offer and find it valuable to the point where they opt in to my email list. So, but you definitely want this set to no. And then you definitely, if you want people to be able to email you, you can set it to first or second degree. You probably don't want it set to anyone on LinkedIn, because then people can like scrub or scrape that and you can get spammed. So moving on here, who can see your connections? So I have it set where my connections can see my connections. And so that way people can see like mutual connections. If you wanted it private, you could set it to only you can see your connections. Who can see your last name? If you wanted to abbreviate your last name, you can do that here. Again, I lean more towards the public on everything, but if you wanted to have that privacy, you have that option here. representing your organization and interests. So here's where you could choose to show your profile information on other content shown on LinkedIn. Yeah, so if LinkedIn has some sort of job posting or company page or sponsored content or related content to your publicly expressed interests, they might be able to use your profile as part of that on public events that you're attending or a company page you followed or interacted with on LinkedIn by sharing or commenting on its posts. I put it as yes because the amount of activity that I do on LinkedIn, the whole point is to get seen. So I want those people I want my name showing up there. I want my name showing up at the top of when people look at LinkedIn All-Star Academy, who works there. Like I want, my name to be at top. Obviously it's going to be because I'm the founder, but like, let's say you are at a large company like Microsoft. And when someone goes to Microsoft, if you're one of their first or second degree connections that's active, you're more likely to show up like representing that organization's interests because you're attending that event or it's a company you follow or interacted with. Profile visibility on LinkedIn. You can choose how your profile appears via partners or other permitted services. Should we show your information from your profile to users on permitted services such as Outlook? I have it set to yes. So if someone's on Outlook and they're like wanting to send me an email, it could pull up information, connect information from LinkedIn because of that Microsoft and LinkedIn integration. Here's where you can manage who can discover your profile from your email address. So if someone knows my email, I want them to be able to see my profile because if they have my email, they probably already know who I am. But let's say you only wanted your second degree connections to be able to search you via email or no one to search you and do a reverse lookup from your email. Here's where you can manage who can discover your profile from your phone number. I have it set to everyone. If someone has my phone number and they log into LinkedIn, I want them to be like, hey, like we see that, and they give LinkedIn visibility to their connection or their contacts. It'd be like, hey, Zach's on LinkedIn. Do you want to connect? I want that. And here's where you can change where you're blocking people on LinkedIn. Here's people that I blocked. And here's where your visibility of your LinkedIn activity on your LinkedIn profile and like wherever someone sees your name, there might be a green dot next to it that says whether you're active or not. Here, I have it set to only my connections can see whether or not I'm active on LinkedIn. I'm actually going to change that right now to all LinkedIn members. So even if they're second or third degree connections and I'm active, they'll see that green dot. The logic behind that is when someone sees that green active dot, they're more likely to like reach out to that person because they feel like they might get a response. So you really want to increase your activity and you want to make it more visible to more people. So here, I'm going to set it to all LinkedIn members. Share job changes, education changes, and work anniversaries from profile. Here is a good one that you definitely want set to yes. I saw this earlier while I was prepping for this. So let's say when I work for LinkedIn All-Star Academy 1 year, 2 year, I want it sending out notifications to my network with those updates, like the anniversaries or job changes. These are real good opportunities to get like a lot of engagement, to reach a lot of people on LinkedIn is through these things. I don't know about you guys, but when you see, it's like when you log into LinkedIn, it's like so-and-so is celebrated 2 years at Intellic Integration or whatever. That's what it'll say. You want that to yes. All right, here's where you can notify connections when you're in the news. I see one of my friends, Patrick Ward, getting mentioned in Forbes, and it says Patrick Ward was mentioned in the news. It'll like show up in your feed here. So like, let's see if we can find an example like that. But it'll basically say somewhere here, like William Miller was mentioned in the news, right? So that's what that would do. And I don't know, again, if you're mentioned in the news, LinkedIn is so strange sometimes. If you're mentioned in the news, tell me why you would not want more people to know about that. Isn't that the whole point of being mentioned in the news? All right, unless it's bad news and you want to like filter that. All right, mentioned by others. Choose when other members can mention you. I set that to yes. I always want people to mention me, even if it's in mass tags. I don't care. Feel free to mass tag me, and I'll try to comment on your guys' posts. It does increase the reach of it, and I try to only comment on content that's relative and going to add value to my audience. But since you guys are my audience, I'm going to support you guys. So followers, we looked at this earlier, whether or not you want your primary action button set to connect or for follow. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And now we're going to move on to communications. How do you get your notifications on LinkedIn, email, push notifications to your device? these are things that you may or may not want to have. So right now I have it set to on for everything, for conversations, enterprise products, help center, job, network, news, profile. Every one of these is going to send me an email notification for every one of these. So, because I'm a LinkedIn expert, I want to know everything about LinkedIn. It's a lot to go through. I try to go through all of this information. See, except for this, I'm not interested in any jobs. I'm kind of unemployable at this point because I just love what it is that I do. That's the one I have turned off, but every other thing I have it set to turn on for notifications on LinkedIn. Now, email, again, you can set those for your email preferences as well as push notifications. I actually have push notifications turned off on my device, except for my calendar. So it's just a way that I like try to narrow my focus. Who can reach you? Everyone can send me an invitation to connect. I see some people only allow it to only people who know your email address allow them to connect. That's going to make it really hard to grow your account. I don't know. Like, I don't know many people's, like, I have 10,000 connections on LinkedIn, but I don't know all of their email addresses. Like, LinkedIn is kind of the primary method of connecting. And then if they want to go deeper, then they sign up for my webinar or my training, and then I get their email that way. Invitations from your network. There's this new feature now where people can invite you to like a page or invite you to an event, invite you to follow a newsletter, and they kind of show up in your notifications area or your network, my network area. Here you can see in my invitations, I have 125 pending. Some of those are like events. So here's an event, and this person invited me to this event, and I can either accept or ignore. That's really convenient. And looks like now events have the option to be able to require an email form within LinkedIn, which is super cool. You don't even need to go to a third-party website. So I can submit that and boom. That's a really powerful hack. We're going to talk about LinkedIn events in future training. Like, that's an entire episode to itself. But if you're getting spammed by too many pages here or too many events, see, most of these are actually people wanting to connect with me. Like this person, she wrote a custom message. Hey, Zach, I noticed you were in Brendan Miller's LinkedIn Rockstars. I'm more likely to accept that because she customized it. So, but yeah, most of these are people. But if you're getting like too many spam to invite follow pages or too many events or too many newsletters, you can turn those off here. I leave them on because I want other people to leave them on, because I will respectfully use these features to help increase following of a page, like of my clients, increase attendance to events for like things like this, or for my clients, and then like newsletters. I treat other people on LinkedIn how I would like to be treated. So that's just a good tip for life. All right, so moving on to messages. Again, here's where you can allow people to send you in-mails or be able to send you messages, allow you to open profile messages, allow LinkedIn partners to show you sponsored messages. Yeah, that's really cool that LinkedIn gives you the option to turn that off. But again, I actually like seeing those sponsored messages because I like seeing what other marketers are doing. So even I'm not offended by the fact that they're trying to advertise to me. Like, I'm actually using that as an opportunity to learn. Research invites, allow LinkedIn to invite you to participate in research. I'm happy to do that. And then messaging experience. So here's where you can turn on read receipts and typing indicators. I turned this off because when messaging a connection and it's enabled for both of you, you'll be able to see when the other person is typing and when the message is read. The reason why I turned that off is because sometimes I'm like typing to someone and then I like stop and then I don't respond because like I get distracted, and I don't want them to take that personally. That's just the honest reason. But you know what? Hey, I could turn that on because now that I have like a team behind me managing my inbox, this is actually going to, again, if someone sees that you're typing a message, they're more likely to like intently wait for that message. So you can keep their attention gained for longer that way. And again, most of the time, I actually am the one responding to my messages. It's mostly just my VAs sending out connection requests, sending out invitations to invites for webinars. If you're talking with me and it sounds like me, it's most likely me on my LinkedIn DMs. And then reply suggestions, auto replies. Like, this is actually pretty convenient that it gives you these, and they're getting better over time. The more you select auto replies, LinkedIn learns from that using machine learning. So I like training LinkedIn. I like making LinkedIn better. So, and whoever said that the auto replies like show that you didn't really spend that much time, Well, obviously, but if the auto replies get good and it replies to the message, then there's no reason not to use it. Again, we're trying to go for efficiency here, not for virtue signaling.